Hello and welcome to episode 66 of a podcast, Smart Consulting Sourcing, the podcast about consulting procurement. My name is Hélène and I'll be your host today. Each week, I'll give you the keys to better use, manage, and source consulting services. In last week's episode, I gave you 5 real-life lessons about consulting sourcing. Nothing complicated. Anticipate your needs. Define the right criteria to find the right consultants. Apply a sensible sourcing process. Define your expectations and measure performance. See, nothing groundbreaking, just common sense. Today, I'll do something different. I wanted to define what consulting is. I was interviewing the head of procurement of a large company recently, and I asked him when and how is procurement involved when buying consulting services. And he answered, it depends on what you define as consulting. I was about to ask what this meant when he dove into his answer, which I will share with you in this podcast. Here's what he said. Today, everybody is a consultant. You can be a legal consultant, a public relations consultant, social media consultant. And for us, it can be strategy consulting, operational consulting, or interim. And depending on that, we will be involved or not. And I found his perspective interesting and thought it might be worth devoting an episode to define what I call consulting. Consulting is often defined as giving expert advice to other professionals. True, but I think it's a bit simplistic because sometimes the consultants don't give advice. They do the work. A few years ago, I sourced a procurement consulting firm to help a client optimize their time spent on raw materials. The consultants even went to negotiate directly with the suppliers on behalf of the client. Is it still consulting? Yes, but you will agree that it is way more than recommendations. Same thing. When consultants support implementing a new organization, they design the org charts, write the job description, define the interfaces, prepare the communication to the team, etc. Do we still agree that is way more than giving expert advice? So what is consulting? I see it as a project-based work organization with dedicated teams and little interdependencies with the rest of the organization. Now let's go to the next question. What is consulting from a sourcing standpoint? Let's imagine that you have laid your make or buy analysis and decided to outsource your project. I use consulting as a short for management consulting, also called business consulting. It covers 7 high-level capabilities. Companies need to build a competitive advantage and make profits. As a result, the strategy and management capability is geared toward high-level business-wide decisions. It aids executives in deciding where to play and how to win. A substantial portion of high-level consulting projects fall into this category. Sales and marketing involve short-term activities to assist businesses to achieve profitable development. Sales and marketing consultants help clients improve their marketing abilities or sales effectiveness to achieve above-average growth. Human capital consulting focuses on increasing the return on investment generated from human resources or employees in an organization. The services offered range from organization and leadership development to enhancing the effectiveness of the HR department. Finance and risk consultants help the client make decisions, develop tailored strategy, and deliver superior results by analyzing the company's financial and economic risks and uncertainties. Though operations may be a source of innovation and a differentiator, the main objective is usually to cut expenses and improve productivity. Operations consultants utilize ideas such as Lean, Six Sigma, and quality management to assist their clients in optimizing and improving operational effectiveness. IT consulting may also be referred to as technology consulting. However, the advent of digital, fintech, and all the tech startups industries is disrupting the game. Technology and digital consultants work with businesses to help them embrace new technology, digitize their procedures, and update their aging infrastructure. Finally, research and development consultants help their clients optimize the development of products and services. The goal of most enterprises is to strike a balance between customer needs and cost-effective returns. The consulting services include identifying where technologies and skills will be required and how goods and services are produced. But let's keep in mind the definition from before. A project-based work organization with dedicated teams and little interdependencies with the rest of the organization. Is staff augmentation a form of consulting? According to this definition, no. It is rather interim work. Are expert networks consulting firms? Not really. Or it would be micro-consulting where the project is 1 hour long. Are all consulting activities project-based? 90% of the time, yes. And then you have the remaining 10% that is divided between trusted advisory, coaching, and training. Are all IT activities consulting? Oh, that's a tricky one. IT strategy and ERP implementation are clearly consulting work, but IT maintenance or app development? Not really. Is consulting always external? Nope. It can absolutely be led internally. This is what you call internal consulting or center of excellence or whatever fancy name your company has invented. Is engineering consulting the same thing as management consulting? Yes and no. It is project-based with dedicated team. The difference is the type of work done. And there are some overlaps on feasibility project, for instance. What is the conclusion? Consulting is a very broad term, and the lines are blurring more and more with the emerging industries such as digital and fintech. Then what? You don't need to adopt my definition, but you need to make sure that everyone in your company shares your definition. So take the time to create a taxonomy of what you consider as consulting services. Even better, write a guide for your executive explaining how they should work with procurement depending on the type of consulting they need. That's where our episode ends. Thank you for listening. Next week, I'll try to decipher for you the consulting fees and rates. We'll talk about cost structure, fee structure, and all that jazz. Hope to see you next Thursday. If you want more episodes, go to our podcast website, podcast.smartconsultingsourcing.com. And if you have any questions or want to learn more about what we do at Consulting Quest, just send me an email at hélène.lafitte with 2 F and 2 T's at consultingquest.com. You can also have a look at our website, consultingquest.com, to know more about our book, our publications, and our services to improve your consulting sourcing. Bye, and see you next week. Au revoir.